The Tropicana closed. The Mirage closed. Two strip icons, demolished or sold off within 12 months of each other. 7 Vegas properties have gone dark since 2023. 58 buffets permanently shuttered. The Strip isn't just losing casinos. It's losing its identity. And it's not stopping. 5 more are already on the chopping block. Properties barely hanging on, outdated, underfunded, sitting on land worth more as a parking lot than as a working casino. All 5 are already showing the same warning signs: declining revenue, deferred maintenance, corporate owners quietly looking for an exit, and real estate that's more valuable empty than operating. Some are months away from an announcement. Others are already in quiet negotiations. But the math doesn't lie. These are the 5 Vegas casinos closing next, ranked from least likely to most likely. Let's start with number 5. Coming in at number 5 is the newest, shiniest, and arguably most precarious giant on the Strip, the Fontainebleau. For nearly 20 years, this towering blue monument was a ghost, a half-finished testament to the 2008 financial crisis. After multiple bankruptcies, it was finally resurrected for an astronomical, reported $3.7 billion. It opened its doors in December of 2023, a luxury dream aimed at high-end travelers, positioned to finally anchor the cursed north end of the Strip. But here's the problem. The Fontainebleau is a tragedy of bad timing. They planned a party, but the guests started to stay home. They needed a booming market to fill their 3,600 rooms. Instead, they opened directly into a headwind. The results have been brutal. Within months, whispers began circulating of a casino floor that was unusually quiet. Analysts began estimating the property was losing up to $400,000 per day. Let's be clear, that's not a ramp-up period. That's a 5-alarm fire, translating to over $140 million a year. Then came the executive exodus, with key leaders abandoning the ship they were hired to steer, followed by layoffs. The property is beautiful. No one denies that. Some praise it as a calm oasis. But that's the kiss of death. A casino is an oasis. It's a machine that runs on crowds and energy. The Fontainebleau is an island, disconnected from the core of the Strip. It's a long, lonely walk in the action, a catastrophic flaw in its business model. It is a $3.7 billion bet that opened at the worst possible time, in one of the toughest spots on the Strip. And that makes it one of the most vulnerable casinos in Las Vegas. Our number 4 entry takes us just off the Strip to a casino that has become the poster child for a corporate turnaround that never quite turns around. The Palms. If the Fontainebleau is a story of a bad beginning, the Palms is a story of a tortured middle, passed from owner to owner, each convinced they could solve its fundamental problem. Many of you remember the old Palms. In the early 2000s, it was the epicenter of cool, but that was a long time ago. The problems began when Station Casinos let it languish. Then its parent company, Red Rock Resorts, embarked on a jaw-dropping $690 million renovation. They failed. The massive investment didn't translate into profits. In 2021, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians purchased the Palms for a reported $650 million. A hopeful new chapter. They poured even more money in, bringing the total recent investment to well over $1 billion. And yet, the fundamental problem remains. The Palms is an island, a stunning, well-appointed, but very expensive to operate island. It doesn't have the constant river of foot traffic a Strip casino enjoys. It has to convince every single visitor to make a special trip. The San Manuel tribe has the resources to weather a storm, but they are also savvy business operators. There's a limit to how long any owner will pour money into an underperforming asset. The history of the Palms is one of failed gambles and immense capital expenditure with disappointing returns. It's a beautiful car that starts breaking down the first week you drive it off the lot. For that reason, its future remains deeply uncertain. It's a grim picture, isn't it? These companies sell you the dream, but behind the curtain, they're often struggling with the same financial realities as any other business. The decisions they make, driven by desperation, are what lead to the decline of these once great properties. If you're finding this look behind the neon curtain valuable, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're dedicated to telling the real story of Las Vegas. Your support helps us continue this investigative work. Now, let's get back to the countdown. If Excalibur is a tragedy and neglect, our next stop is a tragedy of bad timing and even worse geography. We are leaving the chaotic energy of the Strip entirely to visit a place that feels like it is stranded on a desert island, the Rio. There was a time when being off-strip was a feature. The Rio was a cool, sophisticated, tropical oasis that locals actually loved. For nearly 2 decades, it was a holy ground of the World Series of Poker. But in 2022, the poker players packed up and moved to the Strip. And when they left, they took the soul of this building with them. Today, the Rio stands like a ghost town, cut off from the lifeblood of the Strip by the massive I-15 highway. Nobody accidentally walks into the Rio anymore. In 2019, Caesar sold the property to Dreamscape for a sum believed to be just over $516 million. Now, Dreamscape is in the middle of a $340 million renovation. But behind the fresh coat of paint lies a financial ticking time bomb. This massive renovation is being funded by high-interest debt that acts like a second mortgage on steroids, an invisible hand strangling the hotel. They are trying to lure travelers away from the center of the universe with shiny new rooms. But locals have long memories. They remember years of decline, broken slot machines, and dirty rooms. Winning them back isn't just about new carpets. It's about trust. And in this town, once trust is broken, buy it back is more expensive than any renovation. If this gamble doesn't pay off, bankruptcy isn't just a possibility here. It is becoming a mathematical probability. Our number 2 spot is unique. It's a casino that is already technically gone, but its future is so fraught with risk, it has to be on this list. We are standing on the sacred ground of the Mirage. To understand why this is the ultimate tragedy, you have to understand what this place was. When it opened in 1989, it invented modern Las Vegas. But in the new corporate Las Vegas, respect for history is a liability. MGM sold the Mirage to Hard Rock, which closed it for good on July 17, 2024. The plan is to build a massive, 660-foot tall guitar-shaped hotel, targeting a late 2027 opening. The risk here is monumental. Every day of construction is a day without revenue. This project is a black hole for cash, burning through money with zero income until it opens. And what if the market softens further? Opening a multi-billion-dollar behemoth into a recession could doom it, just like the original Fontainebleau. There is always a high risk of cancellation or delays. We've seen it time and time again. Right now, the Mirage site is a ghost town wearing the mask of a construction site. The death of the Mirage sends a terrifying signal. If the resort that invented modern Vegas can be erased for a stock bump, then what chance do the others have? If the king can be killed, the peasants are doomed. The sheer scale and cost of this project, combined with a softening market, puts it in an extremely perilous position. And that brings us to our number 1 pick. The casino predicted to die first is the Sahara, Las Vegas. This property is caught in a perfect storm of a cursed location, a history of failed rebrands, and an owner with significant financial troubles. The Sahara is the anchor of the North Strip, and the North Strip is in crisis. It's a desolate landscape, a graveyard of failed projects. The property itself has an identity crisis. It was a classic Sahara, then a failed SLS, then back to Sahara, hoping to trade on a history a name change can't fix. It's outgunned by the brand new Fontainebleau and the massive resorts world. But the biggest red flag, the one that catapults the Sahara to the top of this list, is its owner, Alex Marullo, who bought the Sahara in 2017, has been facing a cascade of financial disasters. His ownership of the Arizona Coyotes NHL team was a train wreck that ended in public humiliation. Reports have circulated for months that Marullo is looking to sell assets to cover his mounting debts. An owner who is financially distressed is the last thing a struggling casino needs. The property is starved of the resources it needs to compete. You can feel it when you're there. The energy is low. The crowds are thin. It feels like a casino running on fumes. Unlike the others on this list, it isn't undergoing a hopeful renovation or backed by deep-pocketed investors. It is what it is. An aging property in a terrible location, owned by someone in financial distress. This is the deadly combination. This is the perfect storm. So there you have it. 5 casinos, 5 stories of decline, and extreme risk. The narrative from the big corporations is that everything is fine, but that's a lie. We saw the Tropicana vanish, and this list proves it was just the beginning. The soul of Las Vegas is being tested. The battle between short-term corporate profits and the visitor experience is raging, and these 5 casinos are on the front lines. They are the canaries in the coal mine. We have moved from a city built by visionaries who wanted to wow you to a city run by accountants who want to extract from you. The soul of the city did not die of old age. It was murdered for profit. Now I want to turn it over to you. Do you agree with this list? Is there another casino you think is on the verge of collapse? Let me know in the comments below, because in this new era, your memories are the only things they cannot bulldoze. And I'll see you in the next video.